Romário de Souza Faria, known simply as Romário, is a Brazilian politician who previously achieved worldwide fame as a professional footballer. A prolific striker renowned for his clinical finishing, he is regarded as one of the greatest forwards of all time. Romário starred for Brazil in the 1994 FIFA World Cup triumph, receiving the FIFA Golden Ball as player of the tournament. He was named FIFA World Player of the Year the same year. He came fifth in the FIFA Player of the Century Internet poll in 1999, was chosen in the FIFA World Cup Dream Team in 2002, and was named in the FIFA 100 list of the world's greatest living players in 2004. At club level, after developing his early career in Brazil, Romário moved to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands in 1988. During his 5 seasons at PSV, the club became Eredivisie champions 3 times, and he scored a total of 165 goals in 167 games. In 1993, he moved to FC Barcelona and became part of Johan Cruyff's dream team, forming an exceptional strike partnership with Risto Stoichkov. He won La Liga in his first season and finished top goal scorer with 30 goals in 33 matches. During the second half of his career, Romário played for clubs within the city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. He won the Brazilian League title with CR Vasco da Gama in 2000 and was a 3-time top scorer in the league. At the end of his career, he also played briefly in Qatar, the United States and Australia. With 55 goals in 70 appearances for Brazil, Romário is the third highest goal scorer for his national team, ranking only behind Pelé and Ronaldo. He is second on the all-time list of Brazilian League's top scorers with 154 goals. While finishing as a top goal scorer in many different competitions, he is one of very few strikers to surpass the mark of 1,000 goals, and is the second most prolific goal scorer in the history of football. Club career. Early years. From very humble origins, Romário was spotted in childhood when playing for Olaria, a small club from the Rio de Janeiro suburb. He was taken to the junior team of Vasco da Gama, where he won 2 state leagues and earned his first call-ups to the national team. Romário came to international attention when he became the top scorer at the 1988 Olympic football tournament. 1988-1993, PSV Eindhoven. Shortly after the Olympics, he moved to PSV Eindhoven, where he won the Eredivisie in 1989, 1991 and 1992. Renowned for his ability to operate in the confined space of the penalty box, Romário scored 165 goals in 167 games in 5 seasons at PSV. Driven by an unswerving belief in his abilities, Romário's laid-back manner and overwhelming self-confidence would be displayed throughout his career, with Guus Hiddink, his coach at PSV, stating, "If he saw that I was a bit more nervous than usual ahead of a big game, he'd come to me and say, 'Take it easy, coach, I'm going to score and we're going to win.'" What's incredible is that 8 out of the 10 times he told me that, he really did score and we really did win. 1993-1995 FC Barcelona. Romário moved to Spain's FC Barcelona for the 1993-94 season and became part of Johan Cruyff's dream team, in which, along with players such as strike partner Risto Stoichkov, midfielders José Maria Baqueiro, Pep Guardiola and Michael Laudrup, and prolific goal-scoring defender Ronald Koeman, he helped the club win the La Liga title, while becoming the season's top goal-scorer with 30 goals in 33 matches. Barcelona also reached the 1993-94 UEFA Champions League final, where in spite of being heavy favourites to win, they eventually lost 0-4 to Milan. The build-up to the final saw Spanish newspapers already declaring Barcelona as winners, while Cruyff told his team, "You're better than them. You're going to win." With Romário and Stoichkov leading the Barcelona attack, Milan legend, defender Paolo Maldini, conceded his team were underdogs, but they were spurred on by what they perceived as arrogance from Barcelona. One member of the Barcelona backroom staff admitted that Barcelona were complacent, stating, "We went there to collect the cup, not to compete for it." One of Romário's best performances was scoring a hat-trick in the memorable 5-0 win over Real Madrid in the El Clasico at the Camp Nou, with the spectacular opening goal seeing him drag the ball around the defender without leaving his foot before finishing with a trademark toe poke into the corner of the net. His highlight for Barcelona in the UEFA Champions League came in the two games against Manchester United, where he nutmegged Peter Schmeichel to score at Old Trafford, and scored again in the 4-0 win at the Camp Nou in front of 114,000 fans. Reflecting on the game at the Camp Nou, Manchester United captain Steve Bruce, who played in defence that night, states, "Of all the great things that happened during my career, the thing that sticks out the most is that night, because we got our backsides kicked big style." Stoichkov and Romário are still etched in my memory, especially Romário, who was arguably the best player I ever faced. Romário was named FIFA World Player of the Year in 1994, after being the runner-up in 1993. Although he was lauded for his performances, Romário was prone to controversy, and in 1994 he landed a left hook to Sevilla's Diego Simeone was suspended for 5 games. Romário left Barcelona unexpectedly in January 1995 after having a riff with coach Cruyff. 1995 to 1999 Flamengo and Valencia. In 1995, Romário returned to Brazil to play for Flamengo and spent 5 years there, excluding 2 short-lasting comebacks to Spain during that period. He began the 1996-97 season with the Spanish club Valencia, but after having heated arguments with then head coach Luis Aragonés, he was soon loaned back to Flamengo. Romário returned to Valencia at the beginning of 1997-98 season, with the new coach Claudio Ranieri claiming that he did not want to have any players staying in the club against the will. Romário, stating need of good preparation for the World Cup in France, left Valencia for good after playing just 6 league matches in the season. Once again he returned to Flamengo. 2000 to 2005 Vasco and Fluminense. Romário rejoined Vasco da Gama in 2000 and formed a strong partnership with fellow Selecao striker Edmundo. The two forwards led Vasco to the final of the 2000 FIFA Club World Championship, with Romário finishing as joint top goal scorer with 3 goals. The most notable performance from the pair was a 3-1 defeat of European champions Manchester United at the Estadio de Maracana, where Romário scored twice in 3 first-half minutes and Edmundo added a third before half-time. At 34 years of age, Romário had one of the best seasons in his career while winning the Copa Mercosur and the Brazilian League title with Vasco. Romário's performance was key in the Mercosur final, where Vasco faced Brazilian rivals Palmeiras from São Paulo. After splitting the first 2 matches, a decisive third took place in São Paulo. Palmeiras took a 3-0 lead before half-time. In the second half, however, Vasco scored 4 goals, including Romario's winner in the stoppage time, which completed his hat-trick. Romário received both the South American and Brazilian Footballer of the Year awards. He finished both the 2000 and 2001 seasons as the Brazilian League's top goal scorer. From 2002 until 2004, he played for Fluminense. In February 2003, Romário signed a lucrative 3-month contract in Qatar with the club Al Sadd, but after a disappointing stint without scoring a goal, he returned to Fluminense. On the 21st of October 2004, he was fired from the club after a conflict with the coach. He also attacked a fan who had thrown 6 live chickens at him during training. Romário then went back once again to play for the team he started at, Vasco da Gama. In 2005, at 39 years of age, Romário scored 22 goals in the Brazilian Championship, making him the league's top goal scorer for the 3rd time. Late career. In the beginning of 2006, Romário joined Miami FC along with former 1994 FIFA World Cup teammate Zinho. He helped Miami FC reach the first ever USL1 playoffs, scoring 19 league goals in 25 appearances for the team. Seen as a publicity coup of the A-League's short history, Romário was signed by UFC board member Mel Patswell to the Australian A-League club Adelaide United FC for a 5-game guest stint. He played his first match for Adelaide United FC on the 25th of November 2006 against the Central Coast Mariners FC. During his final game on the 15th of December 2006, he finally scored a goal for Adelaide to end what many consider to be a disappointing spell with the club. In January 2007, he signed a new deal with Vasco da Gama. 1000th goal. On the 20th of May 2007, Romário scored his 1000th goal, a penalty kick against Sport Recife, playing for Vasco da Gama. The Brazilian press claimed him as one of few players in professional football history to achieve this, like Pelé and Puskas. The 1000th goal drew much attention from both Brazilian and international press, with the game being stopped for over 20 minutes to allow for celebrations from his fans. There is some controversy over the validity of the 1000 goals, because the number is somewhat inaccurate, and Romário's research team also counted his goals in junior, friendly and non-official games. FIFA congratulated Romário on his milestone goal but stated he is still officially on 929 goals, as 77 came in youth football, with others being scored in friendly matches. In 2008, Romário released a DVD with the best goals of his career, totaling 900 goals in the disc. Following the landmark goal, Vasco da Gama unveiled a statue of Romário at the Estadio São Januário. Player, manager of Vasco da Gama. On the 24th of October 2007, it was announced that Romário would take charge of his first match as the interim manager of Vasco da Gama against Club América of Mexico in the return leg of the Copa Sudamericana quarter-final, and he would also participate on the field as a player. Romário, then 41 years of age, replaced Celso Roth as the manager of Vasco da Gama, and also played the match against Club América at the same time. The Vasco da Gama president Eurico Miranda declared to Globo Online that Romário would be in charge of the team for the match, but it is likely to only be temporarily. On 6 February 2008, Romário objected to Miranda's intervention in team selection, so was dismissed but remained contracted to Vasco as a player. On 4 December 2007, Romário announced he had tested positive for finasteride after a match against Palmeiras on 28 October. He claims it was in an anti-baldness treatment. However, the drug is banned as it is a masking agent for anabolic steroids. Retirement and comeback. On 5 February 2008, Romário announced his retirement both from playing and coaching, effective at the end of March. This move came somewhat unexpectedly, as fans anticipated that he would retire from playing, but not coaching. He made it clear that he will only concentrate on the FIFA Confederations Cup and helping with the 2014 FIFA World Cup. However, on 27 March, Romário denied that he had retired. Romário announced on 15 April 2008 at his DVD launch that he would retire from the game of football. He cited his weight as a major factor in his decision to retire from the game. Romário played for many clubs that spanned across 5 continents for over 2 decades. He scored 71 goals in 85 appearances for Brazil and claimed to have scored over 1,000 club goals. Romário officially announced his retirement from playing, saying, "Officially, I'm not playing anymore. I've stopped," he said. "My time is up. Everything has been a lot of fun." In August 2009, Romário announced that he would come out of retirement to play for America from Rio de Janeiro. He stated that he would play for the club to fulfill his father's wishes. On 25 November 2009, Romário made his comeback. He came on during the 68th minute of the match between America and Nacional, replacing Adriano. Although he didn't score, America won 2-0, which helped the club to win the title of the second division of the Carioca Championship. International career. As a member of the Brazilian national team, Romário won the silver Olympic medal in Seoul in 1988, finishing as the top goal scorer with 7 goals in 6 matches. He attained the status of national hero at the 1989 Copa America as he scored the only goal in the final against Uruguay to end Brazil's long trophy drought in front of their own fans at the Maracanã. He was part of the Brazilian squad in the World Cups of 1990 and 1994. He scored 71 goals in 85 international matches, being the second highest goal scorer in the history of the Brazilian team, only behind Pelé. 1990 World Cup. Romário was one of the most talked about stars leading up to the 1990 World Cup in Italy, but picked up a serious injury 3 months before the big kickoff. Despite doing everything to recover in time and being rewarded with a spot in the squad, his lack of fitness meant he was restricted to playing only 66 minutes in one match. Against Scotland, Brazil were eliminated in round of 16 by the rivals Argentina. 1994 World Cup. In 1992, during Romário's successful season at PSV Eindhoven, he was called up to the national team for a friendly match against Germany on 16 December 1992 in Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. Coach Carlos Alberto Pereira left Romário as a reserve, after which he expressed his dissatisfaction, saying he would not have come over from Netherlands if he had known he was not going to play. These declarations caused Pereira to ban Romário from the Brazilian team. Brazil played the first 7 matches of the 1994 World Cup qualification without Romário, and suffered the first loss ever in World Cup qualifying against Bolivia. His exclusion provoked a wave of outrage, with journalists and fans calling for his return to the team. Brazil had to beat a tie against Uruguay at the Maracanã Stadium to finish first of the group. Before the match against Uruguay, Pereira gave up and called Romário Back in his beloved number 11 jersey, prior to the game, Romário stated, "I already know what is going to happen. I'm going to finish Uruguay." Brazil won 2-0, with Romário scoring both goals, and qualified for the World Cup. Pereira commented afterwards, "God sent Romário to the Maracana." At the 1994 World Cup held in the United States, Romário partnered Bebeto in attack to lead his country to a record fourth World Cup title. Romário scored 5 goals in the tournament, 1 in each of the 3 first-round matches against Russia, Cameroon, and a trademark toe-poke finish against Sweden. He scored 1 against the Netherlands in the quarter-finals, and a game-winning header against Sweden in the semi-finals. Romário also assisted Bebeto in the only goal of the match against the United States in San Francisco for the round of 16 elimination match. Although he didn't get on the scoresheet in the final in Los Angeles against Italy, which ended as a goalless draw, he converted Brazil's second penalty in the shootout, which ended in a 3-2 win for Brazil. Romário won the World Cup Golden Ball as the most valuable player of the tournament, and was named in the World Cup All-Star team. Romário is also the last player to have won the Golden Ball and the World Cup in the same tournament. The Roro attack. In the subsequent years, Romário formed, along with fellow Brazilian forward Ronaldo, a feared attacking combo, which was colloquially referred to as the Roro duo. The first title which the strikers won while playing together in the front line was the 1997 Copa América in Bolivia, where they scored a total of 8 goals. Later on in December 1997, they each scored a hat-trick in a 6-0 win against Australia in the 1997 FIFA Confederations Cup final. Romário finished the tournament as the top goal scorer with 7 goals, while Ronaldo added 4. Just in 1997, the duo scored an impressive total of 34 international goals, with 19 coming from Romário. The Roro attack was expected to headline the upcoming World Cup in France. 1998 and 2002 World Cup absence. Romário was left out of the 1998 World Cup squad. Medical exams had revealed that he had a muscular injury, and he received intensive treatment leading up to the tournament, but he did not recover completely and was dismissed the day of the deadline for the World Cup squad submissions. Just after the decision was announced, Romário held a press conference where he broke down in tears while saying that, "This is very sad for me. A big disappointment. This is a very difficult moment in my life." Brazil lost the World Cup final against hosts France. Prior to the 2002 World Cup, Romário, aged 36, was in considerably good form while playing for Vasco da Gama, but once again he was left out of the national squad by coach Luis Felipe Scolari due to indiscipline. The final incident happened when he pulled out of the Brazil squad for the 2001 Copa America in Colombia. He told Scolari that he was having an eye operation, but he played friendlies for club side Vasco da Gama in Mexico and went on holiday instead. The entire country, including President Fernando Henrique Cardoso, called for his inclusion, and Romário gave a televised news conference in which he made his case and apologized, bursting into tears 3 times, though he said he couldn't remember doing or saying anything against the manager and the players. The BBC's South American football correspondent, Tim Vickery, called Romário's news conference bizarre and reported that there were increasingly credible rumors that senior players asked Scolari not to recall the veteran striker. Scolari was unmoved and did not pick him, saying before his squad announcement that Romário's exclusion was technical and tactical. After the announcement, he said that it was as a result of Romário's withdrawing from the Copa America. People forget the details, but I do not. I almost got fired from the national team after. Asked if he would watch Brazil's games on television, Romário, famous for late-night partying throughout his career, replied, "The games start at 6 o'clock in the morning. At that time, I'm usually getting home." Without Romário, Brazil went on to win the World Cup for the 5th time in history. Last game for Brazil. On the 27th of April 2005, Romário played his last game with the Brazilian national team in a friendly and celebratory match in São Paulo. He wore the captain's armband and scored the second goal in Brazil's 3-0 win against Guatemala. Recognition. Johan Cruyff defined him as a genius of the goal area. Ronaldo. Romário was the most decisive player who I played with. He was a great goal scorer, finisher, skillful, opportunist. I think I learnt all of that from him. Roberto Baggio said, "Romário is one of the greatest players of all time. He has good technique and personality. He is a master of art in the penalty area." Diego Maradona, on who was the best player he ever saw play. It is between Romário and Van Basten. Paolo Maldini. Romário was incredible in the penalty area. Romário wore the number 11 shirt for most of his club and international career, which inspired Neymar's number at Santos. Romário is regarded as one of the greatest and most prolific strikers of all time, along with Brazilian compatriot Ronaldo and African star George Weah. Romário was seen as a new breed of striker in the 1990s who would also operate outside the penalty area before running with the ball towards goal, with former France striker Thierry Henry stating, "Ronaldo together with Romário and George Weah reinvented the centre-forward position. They were the first to drop from the penalty box to pick up the ball in midfield, switch to the flanks, attract and disorientate the central defenders with the runs, their accelerations, their dribbling." With his low center of gravity, Romário was known for his explosive acceleration, which enabled him to outrun opponents over short distances, and his dribbling skills saw him use elaborate feints, such as dragging the ball around a defender without leaving his foot, and the flip-flap. Although Romário built a reputation as an extremely opportunistic goal poacher, he was also known for his creativity and vision, with an ability to assist teammates. Throughout his career he formed many notable attacking partnerships with other prolific, technically gifted forwards, such as Stoichkov, Bebeto, and Ronaldo. Romário was also criticized for his controversial character, and for his poor work rate throughout his career, in particular for his vocal dislike of training, foot volley and beach soccer. Since the 1990s, Romário has been a foot volley enthusiast, playing with friends in various tournaments. In 2006 he won the VIP Foot Volley Net Open in Miami Beach, USA, and was runner-up in the 2011 Foot Volley World Championship in Rio de Janeiro. He also plays beach soccer and represented Brazil at the 2005 FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup. Media and sponsorship. Romário has appeared in commercials for the American sportswear company Nike. In 1998 he starred in a Nike commercial set in an airport with a number of stars from the Brazil national team, including Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos. Romário features in each sports FIFA video game series. He was included in the FIFA 14 Ultimate Team Legends. Political career. In the 2010 general election, Romário was elected to the Chamber of Deputies on the Brazilian Socialist Party ticket. He was the sixth most voted candidate for deputy in Rio de Janeiro. He pushed his political agenda against the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, denouncing the event as immersed in corruption and money laundering. He also expressed disagreement with Sean Kiley, Ricardo Teixeira, Jerome Valconcept Blatter. He is one of various figures claiming that the holding of the 2018 FIFA World Cup was stolen from England and sold to Russia in a part of 2011. Scandal by FIFA. On February 19, 2014, Romário announced that he would run for the Brazilian Senate in the 2014 general election, and the decision was officially confirmed in June. On October 5, Romário was elected to the Brazilian Senate with the most votes received ever by a candidate representing the state of Rio de Janeiro. Personal life. His son, Romarinho, plays for CR Vasco da Gama in Campeonato Brasileiro Série A. Career statistics. Club statistics. International goals. Games played, 70 goals scored. Scores and results list Brazil's goal tally first. Honors.